there! May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and to our listeners and readers, I just want to say thank you. And it's just as important to take care of your mental health as it is to take care of your physical health. However you feel, don't be afraid to talk about it and reach out to a trusted friend or adult, okay? This is Lon Pantaleon for our third episode, Mia, Chapter 2, Part 1, The Gift.
Chapter 2, Part 1. Thud. It was loud this time, yet she stood once more.
Attitude. Arabesque. And deaden. Pirouette. Pirouette.
Her teacher chanted aloud. Again, Mia fell on her hips against the dark, shiny Marley studio floor.
It's okay. Go home, Mia. You're tired.
Her ballet instructor remarked. Mistress Sophia, as she was fondly called by everyone, fixed her gray-streaked dark brown hair into a bun. The affectionate, slender and long-legged 40-year-old, who lived in a two-bedroom apartment in the building across the studio, walked to Mia and helped her off the floor. Mia liked spending time with Miss Sophia, and her extended rehearsal was an excuse not to go yet.
Come on now. Let's go home. You've had enough practice. You're ready. Trust me.
Mia smiled, playfully swung her bag over her shoulder, gave her teacher a rigid salute, and in a rich baritone voice, said, "Yes, ma'am." They giggled, said their goodbyes, and went on their way. That was Mia's last practice before her big ballet recital on Saturday. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4:30 in the afternoon, she took the 15-minute bus ride from Miss Sophia's ballet studio and, often, got off a block away from her house to stop by the small charming oak-framed stone cottage of the Addingtons, Thelma's house. Outside, by the squeaky gate connected to the low vine-covered, off-white wooden fence that surrounded their house, the fairly average-built Thelma waited. The afternoon light traced Thelma's wavy dark copper hair and infused a little blush on her pale skin and freckled nose as she waved and ran to Mia. Paul and Clarice had to help their mom that afternoon but were usually at Thelma's house when Mia stopped by. They stayed under the big red maple tree in the middle of the yard and giggled about everything. They got deep into wholehearted conversations too that they forgot about the time. Mia had to go. "Oh, here are the tickets to the recital. Please, please, please come. That's for you, your mom and dad, and Paul and Clarice. Please let them know they're invited."
Of course.
Thelma was thankful and excited. Mia, on occasion, went home running and got into trouble with Barb and Emma for looking so unkempt, with dust on her leotards and, at times, mud on her shoes. Emma always gave her a mouthful that would make even the most calloused of people cry, but Mia had learned to keep silent and set her thoughts on the moments she hid under the big cutting table. She's all right. On Saturday evening, a bright extensive glass advertisement box affixed on the front building wall were lofty photos of three girls with the program. March 2, 1988. 6 p.m. Dancing is creating a sculpture that is visible only for a moment. Edita Hall et le Studio de Ballet de Miss Sophia Presente, Kirkland Symphony Orchestra with classical ballet by Mia Brown. Neoclassical ballet by Ingrid Tates, and contemporary ballet by Joanna Miller. Edita Hall, a concert venue located outside the town of Wealden, and 40 minutes away from Brightwater View, with 2 levels, 118 lights in its intricate ceiling, 580 seats, and a 44 feet wide and 25 feet deep stage, had been the most prestigious venue in the metropolitan area for performing arts groups. Inside the remarkable venue, in smart and elaborate dress clothes, The theatergoers whispered conversations, settled into their seats, and prepared for the performance as the lights dimmed. The setting was beautiful, the mood sublime, and the music enchanting. The symphony orchestra's music harmonized with the structure of her delicate inflections while the audience's emotions welled up. The projection of her soul was clear in the same way she showed grace and command. Her elegant steps, extensions, and the inviting nature Mia possessed were the marks she left on stage. After 2 years of ballet lessons, on a beautiful Saturday evening, in a luxurious blue platter tutu, Mia danced solo for a recital the privileged class talked about for years. Mia went beyond beauty and perfection and created her own language of gentleness and heroism. At 13, the long-necked 5 feet and 7 inches tall Mia Brown was able to exhibit focus, transformation, radiance, and connection.
Congratulations, Mia.
Mistress Sophia, in her usual black scoop neck long-sleeved leotards and floaty chiffon wrap skirt, came running towards her after the red heavy velour grand drape hid the stage. They held hands gushing and exited the platform. An hour and a half later, following a fine rendering by Mia, Ingrid, and Joanne together, the show ended. The hum of the audience's repartee filled the theater lobby. Done-up women and their dashing escorts gathered together in different groups talking about their children, the news, their stocks and dividends, newly acquired property, recent foreign vacation and, of course, hearsays and scandals about friends and neighbors. Mia walked graciously into the lobby with the other 2 ballet dancers, Ingrid and Joanna, and for a short moment, the room grew quiet. She shook hands with everyone who approached to congratulate her while discreetly scoping the corridor for Thelma, Clarice, and Paul. With the rest of the performers extending their thanks to the warm crowd, Mia stood there enrobed in a simple yet elegant, V-neck, knee-length navy blue chiffon dress that complemented her big brown eyes and loosely coiled dark brown hair, and accentuated her slender neck and arms. The dress was a birthday gift from the Addingtons. It was previously owned, well kept, and worn once by Linda, Thelma's mom, when she had her voice recital in the same venue many years ago. During one of Mia's visits to their home in late January, the dress was laid out on Thelma's bed. The Addington had put together things they were hoping to sell. Thelma, who took after her dad, was more athletic built than thin and the dress didn't fit her. Linda noticed how Mia looked at it with interest and urged her to try it on. They were so pleased to see how good it looked on her.
"How much are you selling this, Mrs. Addington?"
the very empathetic Mia asked. Linda laughed. "You silly girl. I'm giving it to you." Mia walked to Mrs. Addington and gave her a loving cuddle.
"This is the best birthday gift ever,"
she said.
"Thank you so much, Mrs. Addington."
That evening, in the prestigious Adida Hall, Barb and Emma were caught unaware of what Mia was wearing after the performance. Barb, naturally, had planned for Mia to put on an attention-grabbing yellow ornate gown she made but had to deal with the stunt Mia just pulled and made the most of the evening.
She'll get what's coming to her.
Barb was certain about it. For most of the evening, Emma and her mother rubbed elbows with their friends, the town's personalities, and the Metropolitan's big names. The 5'4", wide-shouldered Emma constantly glanced at Mia and kept an eye on her and sized up every person she talked to.
"Oh my God. You were great. We're so proud of you. Congratulations."
The thrilled and delighted Thelma and Clarice drew near Mia and gave her a congratulatory hug. Together with Paul, Mr. and Mrs. Addington stood behind the girls. Mia waved and gave them a huge smile and, in return, they nodded and gave her a keen thumbs up. The heartfelt moment with her friends made her uninterested in everything else, but that quickly changed when Mia felt someone tug her arm.
Mia, what the hell are you doing? Aunt Patricia has been looking for you.
Emma said under her breath.
Excuse us.
She held Mia's hand and pulled her away without looking at her daughter's friends. Mia looked back, stared at her friends, and mouthed,
Sorry.
On the other side of the hall stood the very regal Patricia Wellington enjoying a conversation with her niece, Barb. Her seemingly distracted 17-year-old grandson, Tom Connors, kind and pleasant 16-year-old granddaughter, Cecile Connors, and her other granddaughter, the snob 14-year-old, Ruth Bates were there too.
Thank you for listening to Chapter 2, Part 1 of Mia today. Let's read together again next week. Have a great weekend!
Be what you wanna be.